Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk a little bit about score streaks in Black Ops 3 for competitive and arena in a sense, and this is my opinion. I mean, I don't really think that there's a must-run score streak combination for any game modes, and if you watch, American pros or whatever, you watch the best players in the game, they never run the same score streaks as each other. Like, it's not like a must-have to run the exact same score streaks, but I think that what I'm going to say is hopefully a good guide of, how the score streaks work and why they're good for some game modes and why they're bad for some. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to split it up into hardpoint, CTF, uplink, and SND. I think they're like sort of three categories, basically because hardpoint there's no respawn delay, uplink CTF there's respawn delay, and SND there's obviously you get one death. So basically for hardpoint, I think that HC is almost a must for like at least 3 players in your team. Probably 2 or 3 players. I think that just to break a hill, you can get 2 pieces. You can get, important kills in the anchor with an RC when they're not focused on it. It's just a really, really important thing, and I don't know why in this game they're so important, but I think it's basically because, you can't run walls with RCs on Black Ops 2. You couldn't jump with RCs on Black Ops 2, so the fact you can do that, you can dodge bullets, you can, get around enemies without them noticing, and obviously, most people use headsets and shit and you can hear it, but still, I just still think it's a must run. So I would say, like, usually run it if you're playing hill. Maybe if you're an anchor or you're running an AR, maybe run a high streak like a Wraith or a Cerebus or something, like, just to get it, because you're probably going to stay on streaks, but RCs are deadly, man. So yeah. Now the other 2 streaks for hardpoint, as I said, kind of depends on your role, but if you're playing hill, you're going to be dying a lot, so you're going to want to run low stuff. I wouldn't really run dart in hardpoint because you spend a lot of time in it, and you don't really get the full value out of it. You're better off running a counter if counter's not banned, and if counter's banned, which it is a lot, you're better off running probably a guardian or a sentry, but a lot of the time they get banned as well. So obviously you're going to want a Hellstorm Lightning, but if you want to be creative and you reckon you're going to stay alive in the hill, definitely run a Cerebus. They're really, really overpowered, and if you're running trophies like a lot of teams should be, then they're going to be hard to destroy with EMPs because they take 3 EMPs, and if you've got trophies, if you've got 2 people running double trophies scattered around the map, it's actually really, really hard to destroy Cerebus, and they just put in work. So I would say the best hardpoint score streak combination would be probably HC, Hellstorm, and Cerebus. That's just me. That's just what I like running. But as I said, my opinion comes down to what you like running. So for uplink and CTF, this is a big one. This is kind of important. Like, there's a 5-second respawn delay in uplink, and there's a 7.5 in CTF. So HCs and darts, I don't use them myself in it. I don't think it's really worth it, because I think you're spending enough time not in the game, not putting pressure on the ball, not putting pressure on the enemies by helping defend your flag, or pressuring them in the spawn to get a pull. I think that by being in HCs and darts, you're disadvantaging your team. They can make clutch kills though, and I have seen it happen, like clutch kills with these streaks, but I just don't think that in uplink CTF they're important. So I would say definitely run a counter if it's not banned, but the way I'm talking now, I'm basically saying counter's going to be banned 90% of the time. It gets banned a lot, and it's really annoying, but it gets banned. So yeah. If Guardian and Sentry aren't banned, just run them both and run a Hellstorm. Hellstorm's better than Lightning in my opinion. I mean, Lightning's good for breaking hills, but on this game, because it tells you when a Lightning's coming in, people usually just scatter and just jump off hill. So it's really, really not that important, and I don't think that Lightning's really that viable on Black Ops 3. So I would say run Hellstorm, because you can at least, call out well, whereas you can use your Lightning ping, but really not going to help you that much in uplink and CTF. People are going to be moving around a lot. So for uplink CTF, I would definitely run counter if it's not banned, but if it is, as I said, run a guardian, run a Hellstorm, run a sentry, or run a Cerebus. All those 4 are really, really good, and guardian gets banned a lot, but sentry is really, really good for CTF. Obviously up the back of your spawn, enemies can't really touch your flag until they destroy it, and if you're smart, you'll probably put some trophies in your spawn, so it's going to be hard for them, but I reckon they're the best for uplink CTF. And then finally, SND. So SND is kind of the big one. I think HCs and darts are really, really important in this. Myself, I don't use darts, but I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't use darts because I'm just over dying when I'm in them. I have had way too many bad experiences with darts. Like, important times of the game, 4-5 down, 5 all. I'll call in my darts and make clutch kills, and I'll get killed while I'm in it. And to be honest, you're better off having your gun up, being able to defend yourself, than being in a dart and potentially not getting any kills. So I don't use them myself, but I can see how they're really good, and a lot of pro players use them because, they can rely on their teammates to protect them. But if you're in a team, I think run darts, but if you're not, then just don't. So really for S&D, you're going to want to run, obviously, as low as possible. Counter's going to get banned a lot because, you want your team need to know where everyone's pushing. I mean, if you're in a good team, or if you're in a team who calls out well, being counters are not really going to affect you too much. But a lot of the time when you're getting countered, you're getting beaten because they've got a counter, which is what, 600 points, as you see on the screen there. So you got to keep composure when you're countered and be able to call out. And a lot of the time, teams are arguing when they're losing by a lot. Like, not, you know, a lot of teams, but if you're getting beaten 3-0, 4-0, and they've got counter up, people aren't keeping their composure as well and not calling out as well. So counters are really, really good if you can run them. So keep that in mind. Like, it does put off the enemy team, and you can just tell why. Because if a team's, you know, 4 men pushing A, one guy, you know, goes to defend A, gets killed, he might be fucking in a shit mood, doesn't call it out. Nobody knows because the minimap's counted. So keep that in mind. Counters really, really important. But run a HC, run a dart, and run a guardian for sure. Guardians can lock down a bomb and can win you a whole round, really, if they plant or if you plant and you chuck a guardian on bomb. Even if you can bait out the time to like 15 seconds, they're gonna have to spend a lot of their time destroying that guardian, and they don't have EMPs on. It's gonna take like, you know, 5, maybe even 10 seconds to kill it. So keep that in mind when you're picking your streaks. But for SND, I still think, yeah, HC, dart, guardian as low as possible and really effective. So if you did enjoy the video, dudes, and if you did find it helpful, leave it a thumbs up. Hopefully this wasn't too boring, but I thought it'd be good to talk strategy for a change instead of just posting a gameplay or, you know, just a normal class setup video, something that typically everybody posts, like, you know, just best class setup. Like, I'm happy to post some class setups, and if people want to see that from me, just, you know, let me know in the comments. I will make one, but I just thought, you know, change it up for a bit, give people some strategy. Hopefully it, you know, comes in handy. Maybe you get some clutch kills with that HC and hardpoint or something, and it works out. But have a good one, dudes. Peace out.
I'm face down in the dirt, someone pick me up. I've hesitated for too long, now enough is enough. Since we first met, it was on the up and up. She smile at me and say, it's nice to see you and such. Yeah, I thought she was nice, but I had just been hurt, so my heart was like ice. Figured I didn't really want another girl in my life, but she seemed a little different, and with her I felt right. So I would see her at parties and we talked for a while. My emotions got strong, I kept them tucked like a file, suppressed them.